व्रजजनरञ्जना नीरवनचारी यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरवनचारी यशोदनन्दन जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जया किशोर किशोरी जया किशोर किशोरी जया किशोर किशोरी जया किशोर किशोरी जया जगन्नाथा जगन्नाथा बलदेवा जया सुभद्रा महाराणी जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य श्री अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद् डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna, welcome back to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we are going to read and try to understand from Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, 4th chapter, 2nd verse. 11:4-2. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. So Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto 4th chapter, which is Drumila explains the incarnations of Godhead to King Nimi. You're all able to see? Shri Drumila Uvacha Yova Anantasya Gunananantan Anukramishyan Satu Bala Buddhihi Rajamsi Bhumer Ganayeta Kataschet Kalena Naiva Khila Shakti Dhamnaha. Shri Drumila Uvacha Yova Anantasya Gunananantan Anukramishyan Satu Bala Buddhihi Rajamsi Bhumer Ganayeta Kataschet Kalena Naiva Khila Shakti Dhamnaha. Shri Drumila Uvacha Yova Anantasya Gunanananta Anukramishyan Satubala Buddhihi Rajamsi Bhumer Ganayeta Kataschet Kalena Naiva Khila Shakti Dhamnaha. Drumila Uvacha Yovanantasya Gunananantan Anukramishyan Satubala Buddhihi Rajamsi Bhumer Ganayet Kataschet Kalena Naiva Khila Shakti Dhamnaha. Shri Drumila Uvacha Yova Anantasya Gunananantan Anukramishyan Satubala Buddhihi Rajamsi Bhumer Ganayeta Kataschet Kalena Naiva Khila Shakti Dhamnaha. Synonyms. Shri Drumila Uvacha. Shri Drumila said, Yaha, who, why, indeed, Anantasya, of the unlimited Lord, Gunan, the transcendental qualities, Anantan, which are unlimited, Anukramishyan, trying to enumerate, Saha, he, tu, certainly, Bala Buddhihi, is a person of a childish intelligence, Rajamsi, the particles of dust, Bhume, on the earth, Ganayet, one may count, Kathanchit, somehow, Kalena, in time, Na eva, but not, Akhila Shakti Dhamna, the qualities of the reservoir of all potencies. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Sri Drumila said, anyone trying to enumerate or describe fully the unlimited qualities of the unlimited Supreme Lord has the intelligence of a foolish child. Even if a great genius could somehow or other, after a time consuming endeavor, count all the particles of dust on the surface of the earth, such a genius could never count the attractive qualities of the personality of Godhead, who is the reservoir of all potencies. Purport. In reply to King Nimi's request that the Navayogendras describe all the qualities and pastimes of the Lord, Sri Drumila here explains that only the most foolish person would even attempt such a comprehensive description of the unlimited qualities and pastimes of the personality of Godhead. Such foolish, childish persons, however, are rare, more advanced than ignorant materialistic scientists who actually try to describe all knowledge without even referring to the personality of Godhead. In other words, although it is impossible to describe the Lord fully, foolish atheistic scientists attempted to describe all knowledge without even having reached the most preliminary knowledge of the personality of Godhead. Such atheistic persons should be understood to be short-sighted and of very weak intelligence, despite their showy material achievements, which ultimately end in great sufferings and destruction. It is said that Lord Anantadeva himself, with his innumerable tongues, cannot even begin to vibrate completely the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The example given in this verse is very nice. No human being can hope to count the number of particles on the surface of the earth. Therefore, no one should foolishly try to understand the Supreme Lord by his own tiny endeavor. One should submissively hear knowledge of God as it is spoken by God himself in Bhagavad Gita, and thus one should gradually be elevated to the stage of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. According to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by tasting a drop of seawater, one can get a general idea of the flavor of the entire ocean. Similarly, by submissively hearing about the personality of Godhead, one can acquire a qualitative understanding of the absolute truth, although quantitatively one's knowledge can never be complete. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminati Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim itkrupatamaham vande Sri Gurum Deenataranam Chaitanya Madhavam Paramanandamishwaram. Hare Krishna. So, this is a wonderful chapter which has just started after the description of illusory energy in the third chapter. And there was an elaborate discussion of the illusory energy. And definitely, even to understand the illusory energy is impossible. Then what to speak about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord? What is the master plan of the Supreme Lord is not easy for an ordinary soul to understand. And this verse, last night when I was reading through, I was thinking, what else I can say? Here the nice point here it is said, anyone trying to enumerate or describe fully the unlimited qualities of the unlimited Supreme Lord has the intelligence of a foolish child. Wow! I'm going to sit tomorrow in the class as a foolish child and try to speak whatever little I can. But here it's interesting. The point to understand here is why foolish child has been referred, because there are so many people think that they are very learned. There are people who having few knowledge of certain verses, certain things, having some ears in Krishna consciousness, or outside the people who knows lot of things, there is a tendency to think oneself to be the great, and that makes one foolish. And with the foolish understanding, what can be narrated about the Supreme Lord, who is unlimited. He has unlimited pastimes, he has unlimited incarnations, he has unlimited exchanges with his own pure devotees. What to speak about the pure devotees? He is still exchanging his loving reciprocation even to the atheists, even to the animals, birds, beasts, etc. So everyone is taken care by the Supreme Lord, right? But then the child who is foolish thinks that he knows a lot of things. Just like, in my mother tongue, okay, in Telugu, nobody is here, but the meaning is a grandson is trying to teach the grandfather how to cuff. Okay, it's like that. We cannot teach to the great Supreme Lord. I mean, not teaching, but we cannot even fathom his complete independence, complete plan, and his desire. So, henceforth, we need to go through the disciplic succession. So, it is manobhishtam, the desire of the Supreme Lord is understood. Now, in this case, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he has come, Rupa Goswami and other Goswamis understood the heart of the Supreme Lord. Now, knowing the heart of the Supreme Lord is a very, very big thing, correct? Knowing the heart of a general devotees around us is not easy. Then what to speak about the heart of the spiritual master? Sometimes the spiritual master may not say things externally, but he wanted his disciple to understand certain things. So even that thing we may miss, then what to speak about the understanding the heart of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? It's impossible. Now, King Nimi here, who happens to be coming in the Surya Vamsha, Sun dynasty, Ikshvaku dynasty, okay, and he is a very exalted devotee. He is a Raja Rishi in that sense, so he is got the opportunity to take the association of Navayogendras. Now, who are these Navayogendras? As we all know, just again to recap. So, Lord Rishabhadev, in the 5th canto, we see an elaborate description of himself and his sons and all. The 100 sons of Rishabhadev, which we have already studied in the 5th canto, there we learned that, the first and foremost son, King Bharata, right? So when we talk about King Bharata, he's a great emperor, he's a Paramahamsa, and on whose name this whole world is called as Bharatavarsha. And now, he being the ruler of the Bharatavarsha, what about other 99 sons of Rishabhadev? It's interesting, the Varnashrama Dharma in the Bhagavad Gita, what is stated is, Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. Right? We see that every living entity, especially the human beings here, they are divided into 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. 4 varnas are not divided by birth, and this is one of the evidence of Lord Rishabhadev and his 100 sons. What is that? King Bharata, who is the eldest of among everyone, he became the emperor, and the next 9 sons have become the Navayogendras, the great sannyasis, saintly personalities, right? think about a king. Of course, he is Krishna, who is the incarnation of the Lord Rishabhadev, but in a Kshatriya family, one Kshatriya we have heard about, King Bharata, and 9 sannyasis, Navayogendras. Then 81 are Brahmanas. Think about that. A Kshatriya's children are Brahmanas, in that sense. And then last 9 are Kshatriyas. Okay? And those 9 Kshatriyas basically have ruled the 9 areas of whole Bhumandala. So, point here is, even when we talk about Lord Rishabhadev, right? Lord Rishabhadev has actually demonstrated the detachment and renunciation, because the entire material world is meant for sense gratification for an ordinary living being. Right? His only intention is to bhoga. Okay? So, it is the roga. Bhoga is nothing but a roga in this material world. And here, we see that lot of devotees, we see that they are trying their best to engage in the bhakti marga, giving up the unnecessary sense gratification. Just like brahmacharis are doing their best, grihasthas are doing their best, everyone is doing their best, because the more we do the sense gratification, the more we are going to struggle and suffer. Just like an example is given, we all drive the car, we have an accelerator and a brake. What happens if I use my both legs, use them simultaneously? The accelerator and the brake, it will simply create a problem, it will spoil the system of the car. In the same way, the sense gratification, Ishvara aham bhogi, this rogi, this disease is very much powerful, prevailing in this material world, and we are taught to take bhakti marga and then detachment. And Lord Rishabhadev, actually, he is an embodiment of manifesting and displaying this detachment and renunciation to the highest level. And now, Navayogendras, being the sons of that great king, the father, the supreme Lord, we can understand how they are inculcated this entire bhakti in their own heart. So, in this purport, if I go a couple of minutes just into some of the points from the purport. Now, let us see, in the purport it is stated that Nimi had some question and Navayogendras are trying to answer. Now let us see what is the question. Now, in the first verse yesterday, I will repeat the translation here. King Nimi said, "The Supreme Personality of Godhead descends into the material world by His internal potency and according to His own desire." So He is a Swarat, He is independent. The Lord appears on His own accord, on His own sweet will. Therefore, please tell us, King Nimi is asking, therefore, please tell us about the various pastimes Lord Hari has performed in the past, is performing now, and will perform in this world in the future in His various incarnations. So it's a great question, Such kind of questions actually inspires the speaker, because now they got something to talk about. Just like a cow happily chews whatever it has actually taken, devotees always remember the pastimes of the Lord, and that brings a great purification. Right? So as we see that, Shrunvatam Swagatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hrudayantastohi Abhadrani Vidhunoti Suhrutsatam. So the purification of the heart happens when we hear the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. It's very, very wonderful. And especially when we hear from the Acharyas and their commentaries, that brings more sweeter and great lessons for us. It's just not an entertainment. Srimad Bhagavatam also brings some entertainment, some kind of beautiful narrations of the mountains, beautiful narrations of the gardens. When we hear about the Gajendra story, big fruits, mangoes and the rasa and flow of river, we see all kinds of things, all the people, Hollywood, Bollywood, they can use these descriptions to make an perfect entertainment, because that is coming from the perfect personality of Godhead. Now here, after hearing the questions from King Nimi, Navayogendras wanted to describe the all qualities and the pastimes of the Lord. However, he said only the most foolish person having the childish mentality will attempt to such a comprehensive description, because the Lord is unlimited. It is just like if there is a small ant here, I am trying to show the ant, hey, you know what is Willis Tower? You know what is Chicago? I will show the photo. What it can understand. The tiny brain of an ant cannot fathom what is this Chicago is all about. What is it Willis Tower is all about? Nothing. So in the same way, unlimited pastimes of the Supreme Lord it cannot fit into our brains easily. It may sometimes confuse. People say the Lord do not reciprocate. People say, oh, if Lord is existing, why so many people are suffering in this world? Why is he silent? Why is he incapable of doing? Why is he waiting for the time? If the time has to come, then is the time greater than the Supreme Lord? Lots of such questions keep coming. But until we hear from a realized soul coming from a bona fide parampara, we can actually not understand the real purpose, or the purpose why the Supreme Lord appears in what form for what purpose, right? So here we see that all the knowledge which we are thinking now, all the knowledge which a ordinary who is that living entity thinks that he is an expert in certain things, and by doing so he will please the Supreme Lord. By having great money, one may go to Kishore and say, oh my dear Lord, make me a millionaire and a billionaire, I will do something great in the temple. Now to accumulate that money, rather than being devotion, we may end up doing something else. So there is always attractions and allurements. I was hearing one lecture, and it is heard that these all allurements and attractions and aversions are all like exit gates, exit roads in a main highway. I use the highway to reach my destination. I know I need to take an exit called maybe 95, but I end up taking 93 or 90 or 25. I end up going elsewhere. So all these things are not going to please the Supreme Lord. Actually, this entire Vedic scriptures is a revelation process where things will be revealed only by the dint of devotional service. The Lord reveals. And first of all, if Lord has to reveal, then he should be pleased. If he is pleased, he will arrange someone, if not he directly. In this case, Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, or Krishna spoke whatever Gita to Uddhava. We see direct conversation from Krishna. But if we are not fortunate enough to have a direct association, but he will still make sure that some great representative of the Lord will come into our life and he will reveal. But ultimately we need to please them. But what is that pleases the Supreme Lord? Is it the money? Is it the people, followers? In YouTube we see that so many people have followers. They see one music, one video, one this and that, and reels. There are so many people who are huge followers. What to speak about that even in our job, this thing, right? LinkedIn. We also have some connectivities and people who may say, hey, you are great, and etc., etc. But still, the Lord is not pleased by one's tapa. Lord is not pleased just by external dresses, just by having good knowledge. And all those things, bala, paurusha, etc., that will not be pleasing to Krishna. What pleases Krishna is the bhakti. Bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayutha payaha. In the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in one of the places it is said, Manye dhanabhijana rupa tapa shrutaujas teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yogaha naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayutha payaha. Very interesting verse Prahlad Maharaj is telling, is revealing. Manye dhana. abhijana, rupa, tapa, shruti, tejaha, balaha, paurusha, buddhi yogaha, all these kind of qualities are not going to please the Supreme Lord in any way. They can enable us to become more closer to Krishna, but at the same time they may make us go away from Krishna the moment the false ego comes into picture. So manye dhana abhijana tapa rupa tap manye dhana abhijana rupa tapa srutaujas, tejaha prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga. So all these wonderful qualities what we have are attractive to ordinary people. Okay, definitely ordinary people, and even to the devotees, they are all attractive. Somebody is having great tapasya, it is great. Somebody is having bala and using in the service of the Lord, that is great. So all those things are great, but if bhakti for the Lord is not there, then everything is lost. Lost in a sense, it is going to trap us into this material pool of life. Henceforth, one should understand, Naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso. If one is not centered around Krishna, then it is going to be waste of time. Shrama eva hi kevalam. So one should actually practice this bhakti yoga based on what acharyas have told. I may perform bhakti what I like to do. Prabhu, I like only kirtans. Prabhu, I like only eating prasadam. Okay, probably that is okay to start with. Okay, but we got to really understand what is the purpose behind it. Actually, there are some people who want to do lot of services to Krishna, but they never want to hear anything about Krishna. They said, I will do. I will get a donation. Prabhu, can you write my name on the fan blade? I have donated $50,000, $20,000. They're happy. They want a name there. Some people need such kind of attractions. Okay, to begin with, they're all good. Prabhupada says that, one may come to Krishna consciousness with a sentiment. That is okay, that is good. But one should not remain sentimental. Senti means 100, mental means mental. 100% mental he will remain. So we should not be sentimental. We should understand the purpose. So we see that how Srila Prabhupada has made two things. One is a practical application, what we do, either it's related to deity worship or cooking or book distribution or anything. Practical application is one thing. Second thing is theoretical understanding. Even in the Bhagavad Gita introduction, Prabhupada said, even if you are not fully convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at least accept theoretically that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, the basis will miss, right? So, we should understand that the Supreme Lord's pastimes are unlimited, and because he is unlimited, we cannot actually fathom, or we cannot actually narrate that. And the best example here is given in the purport. Srila Prabhupada gives example of Anantadeva, right? Anantadeva with his Ananta, unlimited hoods, with his tongues. He is trying to glorify the Supreme Lord. Every tongue is glorifying one quality, and it is not repeated since time immemorial, nor with the same tongue, nor with the other tongues. Still he cannot complete. Where are we? What is our situation? We are tiny souls, just like an ant trying to understand Willis Tower. Impossible. Ant is an ant. So our situation is this. Then what does that mean? Should we not hear about Krishna? Should we not learn about Krishna? Should we not speak about Krishna? So, if that is a question, then the simple answer is, we should. Whatever we are able to do in relation to Krishna, we become purified. We establish the loving devotion into our heart, and that heart, when we is sold out completely to the lotus feet of Krishna and the spiritual master, then we will qualitatively understand the pastimes of Krishna. In the last line, Srila Prabhupada writes that, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by tasting a drop of sea water, right, one can get the general idea of the flavor of the entire ocean, right? In the kitchen, Matajis will cook rice, one little rice dana, they will see, oh, it is cooked, then entire rice is cooked. If it is not, then it is not. So in the same way, we all should understand that, by submissive hearing, about the personality of a Godhead, one can acquire qualitatively, Prabhupada writes, qualitative understanding of the absolute truth. Right? So quantitatively we may not understand what is the biggest quantity. Qualitatively we will understand, and then we will realize, oh Krishna, I am so much dependent upon you. Each and everything we are dependent on Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita it is stated, what is that verse? Aham vaishwanaro bhutva praninam dehamashritaha pranapana samayuktaha pachamyannam chaturvidham. So he is the one who is digesting, not only in the human beings, in all the living entities. And the living entities are eating whatever they want. They are eating grass eating animals are there and human beings, animal eating animals and human beings, carnivorous, harnivorous, you name it. All kinds of people they are eating, but the digestion power is coming from Krishna. The moment he says, this my dear child is doing nonsense and he is very naughty, let me, the regulator is in the hand of Krishna. Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. Everything is under his superintendence, right? So he's controlling. Then naturally, the digestive power may go wrong and I may not digest things properly. As we become old, we cannot eat as much as I have been eating when I was young. Now it decreases. That shows that, hey, you make this. Sorry, I forgot discussing on that. There are another two things which I wanted to say. Today is a very auspicious day, of course, Ekadashi, and then Srila Gaurakishore Das Babaji's Disappearance Day, and we will discuss about Gaurakishore Das Babaji at 11:30, I think, Prabhu. Yeah, we will further discuss on. I have been going through how wonderful the great soul. Okay, so he is a Bhajananandi, undoubtedly. Now, there is always a chance that one may think, we are supposed to be Goshtyanandis, then in our lineage we have a Bhajananandi. How to understand who is greater, who is lesser? So, we will discuss this in our next class. I was I was instructed to speak on this in the afternoon. I will go on that as well. I'll begin with that. Okay. And the other one is, today is beginning of Bhishma Panchaka. And we all know that Bhishma Deva is one of the great Mahajana who is purely wanting to please the Lord, right? His only intention, he is on the other side of the game. In the Mahabharata, we saw that he is an opponent side, but still he can please the Lord. You see, Bhishma Pratigna, the word came from Bhishma only. Pratigna is a promise. Bhishma Pratigna we say. Because Bhishma never wavered. There is no wavering. He is pakka. I want to do this, I want to do this. So we should seek mercy from Bhishma Deva on this day. Oh my dear great Acharya Bhishma Deva, you are an embodiment of promise. I have given 4 promises to my spiritual master. Right? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. Right? So okay, so all 4 regulative principles I vow, okay, but sometimes it becomes so difficult, I keep hearing that, somebody has a conditioning in the past that samskaras are troubling and torturing them even though they take a vow. Hey, sometimes I meet, alumni groups, we meet sometimes, college friends and all. Probably a person in the college times, he may be boozing and doing smoking and kind of things, and all the friends will come, hey, what happened to you? Are you okay? What is this tilak? What is this dhoti? Hey, come on, let's go. Let's go to the party. And they want us to do everything what we did at that time. If someone has such a background, it becomes very difficult. So we should definitely do a great service to Krishna by remembering Bhishma Pitamaha. And the Lord has reciprocated to Bhishma Pitamaha so nicely. At the end of his life, he wanted to see the Supreme Lord. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kaleva. We want to hear, at least, we want to remember. Now, hearing, remembering, seeing, everything is given a benediction for the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord, when he pleased, he is absolutely going to give mercy in 2 levels. One is what he wants us to do it. Second, our little desires are also fulfilled by the Lord. I think it is 8:28. I'll stop here. Any questions, comments, reflections, corrections, please. Bhishma Pitama? Okay, 1 second, he's bringing the mic, Mataji. Oh, Bhishma Panchak. Okay, okay.
I have Hare Krishna Prabhupada. I have question about Bhishma Panchak. Why we fast for it for 5 days, and what is the purpose?
Significance.
Fasting, yeah.
Yeah. Very good question, Mataji. I'll repeat the question if I have understood. Why do we fast in these 5 days of Bhishma Panchak, right? Yeah. So the point here is, we are trying to follow the great Acharya. The mood of doing Bhishma Panchaka is not to accumulate the piety credits on doing this. The mood is, oh my dear Bhishma Pitamaha, even at that deathbed, which is very painful in one way, right? All arrows prickled from his body, still he is unwavering devotion service to Krishna. He is ready to give up everything and anything. Can I at least get that little drop of that mood so that I can inculcate and become a devotee and try to serve Srila Prabhupada mission? That should be our mood. We are taking inspiration from great Acharya Bhishma Pitamaha. And some people can do fasting, some people may not. That's okay. It all depends on the individual body. Today all bodies are more fragile. Those days it was different, and this already like this. But the most important thing is, another place I was reading, Bhishma Panchaka, whoever is strictly able to do it, whatever the benefits of one who follows the entire month of Kartik, by doing these 5 days, they will achieve that. Just like Nirjala Ekadashi, somebody is able to Nirjala, all the Ekadashis he may not done, still he will get the things. So that is to the kind of Phalashruti, right? Of course, Srila Prabhupada always said, Phalashruti will be there, whether you want it or you don't want it, but our focus is not Phala or Phalashruti. Our focus is how nicely I can use my existing time and my abilities to serve more. Our plan should not be, people do say, hey, I will do fasting so that my 5 lbs will go down, weight loss program through devotion. Then that is actually not pure devotion, right? So it is a weight loss program, but I am adding Krishna in that weight loss program. But when we do absolutely Krishna consciousness, weight loss, another losses, everything is taken care automatically by the Lord. Right? So our whole mood is to please the Lord in these 5 days. Does it make sense, Mataji? Hare Krishna. Anything else? Okay. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhishcha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnavrinda ki jai.